So have you ever wondered what holds a faith together? I mean, for over 1 billion people across centuries? Today, we're diving into the foundational triad of Islam. Allah, the ultimate source of all existence, the Rasul, who is the human messenger, and the Risala, which is the divine message itself. This isn't just theology. It's a powerful blueprint that has shaped civilizations, and we're going to break it all down.
Think about it like this. If you were going to build something truly massive, something meant to last for ages, you wouldn't just start stacking stones, would you? Of course not. You'd need a blueprint, a clear, intelligent design. Well, that's exactly what we're looking at here, the architectural blueprint of the Islamic faith. It's a structure designed for endurance and clarity, and we're about to see how all the pieces fit together.
And here it is, the core of that blueprint. It's actually beautifully simple, yet incredibly profound. You have Allah, the source of existence, totally transcendent. Then you have us, humanity, and connecting the two, the Rasul, the human bridge, and the precious cargo that crosses that bridge is the Risala, the divine guidance. Each part has its place, and the balance between them is absolutely key.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the big picture of the blueprint itself. Then, we'll zoom in on each of those 3 core parts, the source, the bridge, and the guidance. After that, we'll explore how this one reality can be viewed through different lenses, and we'll wrap up by talking about why this blueprint is so powerful, especially today. Sound good? Let's jump right in. First things first, let's talk about the design itself. What's the main goal of this structure? Well, if you had to boil it down to one word, it would be clarity. This whole system is designed to prevent confusion. It's about creating a spiritual foundation that is stable, balanced, and understandable from the get-go.
And this is where the genius of the design really shines. By creating these clear distinctions, the blueprint protects the faith from some major pitfalls. The source, God, remains purely transcendent. He is never reduced to a human. And on the flip side, the transmitter, the messenger, remains fully human. He is never elevated to a god. And finally, the guidance itself stays divine. It's not just a collection of human opinions. It's a brilliant system of checks and balances.
All right, let's dive into that first massive pillar of the blueprint, the source. Who or what is Allah within the Islamic tradition? It's probably the biggest question you can ask, and the answer is at once incredibly simple and endlessly profound. If you take away just one word from this whole explainer, let it be this one: Tawhīd. It's the absolute bedrock of Islam. It's the core concept that God is utterly, indivisibly one. It sounds simple, right? But this single idea has massive implications that ripple out into every other aspect of the faith. It's truly the sun that the entire spiritual solar system revolves around.
So, what does it really mean that God is one? It means He is completely unique, unlike anything in creation, beyond any form or image we could ever conjure up, beyond our human concepts of gender or even space and time. You know, the universe isn't some box that God lives inside of. It's more like the universe exists because of Him. It's a radical idea that completely reframes our place in the cosmos.
I just love this metaphor. It captures the idea so perfectly. You can't reach out and touch the sun, right? You can't contain it. In its essence, it's completely beyond us. And yet, we feel its warmth. We see by its light. Its presence sustains all life on earth. And that's the paradox of Allah in Islam. A reality that is infinitely transcendent, yet intimately present in our lives through His attributes.
So you might be thinking, okay, if God is so transcendent, how can we possibly connect with Him? And that's a great question. The answer is through His names and attributes. In Islam, there are said to be 99 names of God. Now, these aren't 99 different gods. Think of them more like lenses or windows that allow our finite human minds to glimpse different facets of the one infinite reality, like infinite mercy, perfect wisdom, or absolute justice.
Okay, so we've talked about this immense transcendent source. But how does that source communicate with us, with finite human beings living our lives down here on Earth? Well, that's where the second piece of the blueprint comes in, the human bridge, the Rasul. And this is where things get really practical and fascinating.
And this is a really, really critical point. The messenger in Islam is 100% human, not a demigod, not an angel in disguise, not a superhero, a human being. And why is that so important? Because it proves that the divine guidance is livable. If a human being can embody this message, then it's not some abstract, impossible ideal. It's a real path that we can actually walk.
And it's not just about one messenger and one moment in time. The Islamic view is that Prophet Muhammad is the final link in a long, continuous chain of messengers sent to humanity, stretching all the way back to Adam. And in that chain, you see some very familiar names, right? Abraham, Moses, Jesus. They're all seen as part of the same essential mission, with Muhammad bringing the final, complete version of the message.
Here's another metaphor that just hits the nail on the head. The messenger is like a perfectly clean window. The light, that's the divine message, it doesn't come from the window itself, it passes through it. So the messenger's role isn't to invent the message, but to be such a pure, trustworthy conduit that the light comes through without any distortion or stain.
So we've got the source and we've got the bridge. Now, what is it that actually crosses that bridge? That's the third piece of our blueprint, the risala, the message itself. This is the guidance, the content, the whole point of the connection in the first place.
And the message, embodied in the Qur'an, is so much more than just a list of do's and don'ts. It's a comprehensive guide for life. It calls back to the oneness of God, sure, but it also lays out a framework for moral responsibility, for building a society based on compassion and justice, and for the deep inner work of purifying our own hearts. It's a roadmap for living with purpose. I think this is the perfect way to look at it. The message is like a compass. A compass shows you which way is true north, but it can't make you walk in that direction. The journey, the effort, that's still up to you. It's a guide that empowers choice, not a script that removes it. And that emphasis on free will and accountability is absolutely central.
Okay, so we've laid out the three core components: source, bridge, and message. But here's where things get even more interesting. Because even though the blueprint is one and the same for everyone, people can and do look at it through different lenses. And that's what we're going to explore next.
So for example, you can view this blueprint through a legal lens, that's the Sharia, and focus on how to build an ethical life and a just community. Or you could use a theological lens, exploring those huge questions about God's nature and free will. Then there's the mystical path, or Sufism, which focuses on the inner journey of love and purification. And you can even see it as a psychological framework for finding ultimate meaning in your life. Different lenses, but all looking at the same core reality.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've seen the blueprint, we've examined its parts, and we've looked at the different ways people can approach it. But the big question is, so what? Why does this blueprint matter? Especially right here, right now. Well, as it turns out, it matters a whole lot.
It really all comes down to balance. This blueprint is a masterclass in holding powerful truths in a stable, healthy tension. It allows for a God who is totally transcendent, but a faith that is still grounded and relatable. It gives us a human example to follow without ever turning that human into an idol. And it provides clear, divine guidance without letting it dissolve into chaotic personal opinions. It's a system built for stability.
And this isn't just some dusty, ancient idea. Think about our world today. In an age that can feel confusing and fragmented, this blueprint offers a profound sense of clear purpose. It gives a solid ethical grounding for our actions, a path to real spiritual depth, a strong sense of personal accountability, and a vision for a more compassionate society. These are timeless needs.
And maybe this is the most important takeaway of all. This spiritual blueprint is not a manual for escaping the world, for retreating into a private bubble. It's the exact opposite. It's a call to action. It's a framework for engaging with the world consciously, responsibly, and with the goal of making it a better, more just, more beautiful place.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to reflect on. In our modern world, with all of its noise, its distractions, its conflicting messages, what does a clear blueprint for life actually offer you? What would it feel like to have that kind of clarity, purpose, and direction? It's definitely something worth thinking about.